Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings. Welcome here to Blackbushe Airport and welcome to the Milviz 310R or 310R. Beautiful Cessna twin. Really is a nice little aircraft, this. And we are here at Blackbushe. Blackbushe is celebrating 80 years this weekend. Just coming up. Started off life as a World War II RAF base before evolving into London's second airport, and since then it's been a hub for general aviation and business aviation alike. Obviously it was London's second airport at the time. Sadly it's not anymore, but it's a beautiful little airport, bags of character, fantastic place to go to for a bite to eat and watch aeroplanes taking off and landing, and just has a cracking atmosphere. LN Design put this package together. It's available on Sim Market. I'll put a link to go down below. It's due an update, and they will be updating it soon. There's a couple of things that have changed now if you were to go to Blackbushe now, but I know that when I'm there this weekend on Saturday at the open day that they've got to celebrate the 80 years, I'll recognise pretty much most of this, and that disused runway that you saw just there is actually how myself and my family walk to the airport when we pop there for a bite to eat. So it's all in there, and it's very atmospheric. And we're going to take this wonderful little twin Cessna over to Duxford, which is another favourite haunt of mine. Nice little flight. This is by no means any kind of tutorial on how to fly the C310 or C310. I've hardly got any hours on this. I've only done a few landings and takeoffs, so you'll have to bear with me, but it's a lovely aircraft and I thought it would be perfect for what we want to do today. So I hope you enjoy the flight. Let us get to cracking. Right, so here we are. I'm conscious that I don't want to keep waffling, so we're going to try and get through this as quick as we can. We will do a startup. First of all, I'm going to show you the pad here. This is pretty cool. This helps us to configure our aircraft. So starting from the top, we can select which doors are open. We can select things like the engine covers being on, intake covers, pitot covers, wheel chocks, all that sort of thing. We can select where we've got baggage, how much baggage we've got on the aircraft, where we're putting it. We can add passengers. So at the moment, no one there. But if I then go there, there he is. Don't look so frightened, mate. Honestly, professional. So get rid of him. He looked too scared. So you can use that for there, and then in services we can add our fuel. You can even clean the aircraft. One of the wonderfully immersive things about this is you can set it so that as you use it, it gets dirtier and dirtier to the point where you need to clean it. That's all about immersion. That's all about feeling that you actually own the aircraft. And while we're here, I will just top up the fuel a little bit. There we go. Try and get those to match a little bit better. There we go. Options here, we can select what avionics we've got. I've got the PMS 50 GTN 750 installed. We can select whether it's default, which means every time you use it, it's kind of everything's there, or everything's kind of in a I don't know, default state. Rental means that if you jump in it, you're getting it after the Herbert who's flown it before, so you could have switches in the wrong place. So your pre-flight checks and everything are really important, just to make sure you don't have something in the wrong position or something set incorrectly. Or owned is where the aircraft is in the state that you left it. It's your aircraft, no one else can use it, no one else can break it. It's your fault if something goes wrong. Realism is what it says on the tin. You can select all your different stages of realism. Do you want your engine to have realism, systems to have realism? And then you can select failures. Never, occasionally, rarely, or frequently. I have it set to rarely because I think things rarely do go wrong in aircraft, hopefully, so that feels a little bit realistic. And then status is where we do the pre-flight. Now you can see I've already done a pre-flight inspection and everything is green, which is good, but what it's saying down here is it's ready for repairs. Now that means that some little thing isn't quite right that they found. I had this happen to me before where it was that light there, that light wasn't working, and it was only when I because I hadn't really read the manual properly and seen what that was about. I was doing my pre-flight checks, going through all the light switches, and that wasn't working. I thought that's strange. Came back here, read the manual like I should have done, and realised that if that says ready for repairs, you got to click repair, and then it says all defective items replaced. So some little bit or bob in here was needed replacing, and that's been done now. So we're all ready to go, and everything is nice and safe. So let's get the old checklist out. I use a paper one. There is a one in the sim, but for some reason it kills the immersion for me getting that thing up, so I tend to use something printed or use something on a tablet. Right, pre-flight inspection complete. Cabin door is latched and secured. I'll tell you what we will do to start off with. We'll get you on board. Hello. Seeing as you're flying along, you need to be here, really, don't you? So we'll just latch that as well. Right, we need to remove engine covers, intake covers, pitot covers, wheel chocks, and we'll take off the control lock. Otherwise, I'm happy with that, and I'm going to do away with that now. Everything is cool there. We need to check the parking brake. For some reason, that always starts with the parking brake off. So we've got that done. Fuel selectors, we want to main tanks. Come on, track IR, don't fail me now. There we go. Mixture, fully rich. Prop, fully forward. And we just want to crack the throttle there. All switches are off. Circuit breakers are in. Our emergency alternator field is off, and the emergency avionics power is off. That's good. Avionics master switch is off. Yep, auxiliary pump switches are off. Now we can start powering up a bit. So we get the battery and the alternators on. Have a quick look over here. We've got 3 greens on there, which is a good thing to have. So this is the kind of thing that I was doing before, where I found the other error. You just go through them all and see if they light, which shows that everything's working fabulous. Let's have a quick check of our altimeter setting. 101.3.25, which in this language is the same as it's reading here, rather. So that's good. Cow flaps fully locked and open. Fuel quantity is going to top that up a little bit. Oh no, I've already done that, haven't I? Yeah, that's fine. That'll get us to Duxford. That's a great answer. Yeah, that will get us to Duxford. Don't you worry. Cabin air controls, so we'll just adjust those now. Just one less thing to do when we get up there. I won't switch the fan on just yet. We don't need to worry about that. And forward cabin air, put that there. Okay. Alternate air controls are in. And external lights, I will now have the nav and the anti-collision on. Okay, new page. Check the prop is clear. There's this guy here. He is going to get run over. One of the frustrating things about Flight Sim or Microsoft Flight Sim is that they put these guys standing in front of your aircraft. He's not going to move. He's not going to get out of the way. There's nothing I can do, as far as I'm aware, to get him to move. We're just going to have to run into him, which is very unprofessional, I know. But until Asobo give us a way of saying, you know, something like this. Oi, mate, get out of the way. Get out of the way. You know, that's not going to happen. Right. Okay. I digress. There's a surprise. Where did we get to? Right. We'll have all the mags on. One for each engine. How generous. There we go. Left engine, we're going to do that one first. We will give it a prime. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we will start. Get that. There we go. Okay, fuel pump to low. Come on, find that click spot. There we go. And a quick look over here. Oil pressure's fine. Everything's looking good. And we need to bring our engine back down somewhere between 800 and 1000 RPM. Excellent. Now we'll do the same with the other. We can close that now. Should have shouted clear prop really. I think I shouted enough just before. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have to remember with this one that you have to physically close it. Okay. There we go, good start. There we go. And let's get back to the RPM that we want again. Excellent. Everything's working fine. And everything's working fine there. Okay. Let's get some avionics on, because that's always a good thing to have when we want to aviate. Now, as I say, I'm not going to use the GPS for this. We will be using the VOR. We're going to use the Bovingdon VOR, so I want to set that up. We haven't got air traffic, so I'm not going to change the radios, but we do need to key in Bovingdon, which is 113.75 Yantar switcheroo, and we're going to be flying the 025 radial, so let's get that in there. As we do that, you can see the needle even on the ground is moving, so that's good. Right, so that's where we want to be. That's fine. We'll use the autopilot en route at some point, just to have a play with that, but I'm not going to set that up just now. Happy with everything else. Happy with everything else. You're looking fine. Everything's looking good over here. Okay, right. Let's parking brake off, do a quick brake check. Brake's working fine. Let's get the taxi light on. There you go. That's what happens when you get in the way. There's no point giving me attitude, sunshine. Love this scenery. It's very atmospheric. For anyone who knows the area, you can actually walk just alongside that fence. You can walk to the threshold there, and you can actually stand underneath the aircraft as they fly over, which is great. Okay, so we've really got no wind, so I'm not too worried about pointing the aircraft into wind. We will put the parking brake on here, so we can do our run-up check here nice and easily. Something I would have done really if it had been a bit longer is I would have leaned the mixture here for ground ops, but we weren't really hanging around for too long, so I'm not too worried about that at the moment. Right, so let's do our startup. So the parking brake is on, fuel quantity is sufficient, fuel selectors, double check there on main tanks, they are. Alternate air controls are in. Where do we get to? Cowl flaps are open. Trim is set for takeoff. Let's just plop that somewhere more around about there in the middle. Wing flaps are up. Avionics and radios, we've done all that. We've got that set. Let's have a quick look at the compass. So our whiskey compass is on north pretty much, and so is our HSI, which is good. Pretty much. That's not really a term you should use in aviation, is it? Yes, pretty much. Right, where do we get to? Instrument set. Auxiliary fuel pump is low, and our flight controls. Let's have a quick look at that. Sorry, and have a look at the old rudder. There we go. Just check that rudder again. There we go. Yep. It's just the slight weirdness of the view. So that's all good to go. Right, engine run up. So we're going to put the throttles up to 1700 RPM. and then we'll have a quick look at various different parts of our aircraft. There we go. Okay, quick check our alternator. Yeah. Okay, we've got suction over here. We've got suction vacuum. The system is working fine. Now we'll check the mags. Left engine first, left mag, right mag, right engine, left mag, right mag. That's fine. They're all within the limits. Right, propellers. We check feathering down to 1200 RPM. There we go. And it's there, so let's put that back up. Okay. And now we want to put the throttle, reduce throttle so that we're going down to 1000 RPM. And then we can chillax. A bit more. Steady on. It was me getting carried away and reading ahead instead of actually looking at the dial. That's not very good. Right, exterior lights. We'll now put the strobe on. We'll take the taxi off and we will extend and put on the, there we go, the landing light. And I think, quick look around, we are all set to go. T's and P's looking good. That's fine. Everything good here? Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's line up. Nothing coming. Let's get that a little bit better. Go. So we're full throttle and looking for 2700 RPM. Okay. Another quick check. Not that I'm nervous, but actually tell you what we will do just before we go. Don't want you to get cold. Let's get the damn click spot for that. There we go. Okay, let's fly. Rate of climb, gear up. Okay, I'm back on the power a little bit now. Beautiful. It's a lovely aeroplane, this. Really is. Nice gentle turn. So I want to cruise at about 3,000 feet. That's what I'm aiming for. T's and P's, everything's good. Blackbushe over there. Looking rather splendid. Okay, watching on needle now. Of the pitot heat on. And let's concentrate on the needle, shall we? It's amazing, isn't it? Well, it's not amazing. It's just basic airmanship. As soon as you take your eye off the ball, things can go awry. And I've climbed 500 feet there, or 600 feet now, purely because I was messing about with switches and things. So we'll come back down before air traffic tell us off. One of the things I most remember about flying training was, especially with the instructor next to you, was the concentration in making sure that you were still flying at the right altitude, on the right heading. So many things you've got to think about at the same time. Down, and then we will go on to autopilot. Check over here, everything's fine. Do a nice gentle cruise. It's a beautiful day for flying. That's Slough just over there that we've just gone past, and we have passed Maidenhead back there behind us. You can just see White Waltham there, just above the elevator there. That's White Waltham. I use Burning Blue Design White Waltham. It's absolutely beautiful. On the nose here, just ahead, we have Beaconsfield. And over there we have High Wycombe. You happy? You doing alright? Yeah, not too bad. Let's have a quick check on your state. See how much you're enjoying this. Look at that. Passenger comfort index to 100%. You're doing all right, aren't you? That's good to see. We always like to have a happy customer, happy passenger on board when we're doing this sort of thing. Makes life so much easier. So we are coming up to the Bovingdon VOR, which is just ahead. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to put our heading indicator on the same heading, and then as we get closer, because with the VOR, once you're over the top, things start to wobble. As we get closer, I'll switch it on to heading nav mode. We'll fly overhead, fly onto the new course, which is 049, and then we'll pick up the VOR again and go back into nav mode, providing everything works, but we're not quite ready for that just yet. T's and P's good. One of the great things about an aircraft like this that does have a tendency to do things is that or for things to go wrong for wear and tear, is that it does keep you on your toes. So we're at 3,000 feet. I'm just going to lean out a little bit, just to get a little bit more economy out of it. There we go. Getting a little bit closer now. We're what, 5 nautical miles away. I think when we get to about 3, that's when I'll put it onto heading mode, and then we can start thinking about the next stage. Just having a quick look to make sure that everything is still good. I will take the auxiliary fuel pump off now. You can fly with it. It does say as required, but we don't need it, so I'll take that off. One less thing to muck about with. Where are we now? Coming up to 3, so I'm now going to put us into heading mode. There we go, that's alright. I'm now going to change the VOR needle. What did we say we wanted? 49. There we go, and we'll do the heading bug the same way very shortly. Gorgeous day. That's what I love about this simulator. It's so atmospheric, isn't it? Immersion, that's what it's all about. Okay, so 049, let's go. There we go. Needle is coming over now. Needle is stable. Another 10 seconds, then we'll switch it into nav mode. There we go. So we're now in nav mode using the from radial. And everything is tickety-boo, and we're on our way to beautiful Duxford. So what's that? That's Berkhamsted over there. Can't really see it, but I don't know actually how. Yeah, this is Hemel Hempstead. We're just going over now down here. check. T's and P's good. No problems there. Happy with all that. If we click here, this will tell us if we've got any error codes in the simulated aircraft, which we haven't. So this leg is about 33 nautical miles, so we're almost a third of the way into it. I'm just going to adjust the radial that we're on, because I think we are going a little bit too right. There we go. Luton Airport just off there, or RAF Luton if you follow the Twitter account. If you don't, you probably haven't got a clue what I'm wittering about, but it's very funny. Just stunning. So realistic. And now that we've got aircraft like this, which are more realistic, this sim is really is an interesting proposition now. Cloud there, which we should just clip under. Right, let's come off the autopilot now. Be a big boy pilot. Descending a little bit. So yeah, just over 12 miles away from Duxford now. Look around. Still got main fuel tank selected. Watch that descent there. Right, let's have the auxiliary fuel pumps back onto low. Just working through the descent checklist here. Flaps required, cowl flaps is required, we'll leave those where they are. Mixtures, let's go back to fully rich. Air is still in. Only about 6 miles away now. Be able to see it soon. Keep a nice gentle descent in. As always, trim really is your friend in this aircraft. T's and P's are good. And there it is. So we will come off the radial now. Let's advance the props. Just trying to come in a little bit slow. I think, as I said, I haven't really got many hours in this aircraft, so I want to don't want to come in too fast and then find that I'm having to lose speed. Let's just check these, bring that back a bit. There we go. So, seatbelt secure, alternator controls, we checked that. We're fully rich. Propellers are fully forward. Okay. Everything's looking good. Enjoying downwind. Trim. A little bit of buffeting there, that was interesting. And there it is, that is the Chico Mick Duxford, available on flightsim.to. Absolutely stunning Duxford. Spent an awful lot of time there. Warbird heaven. And I guarantee you, if I put this onto multiplayer now, you would have some Spits and Mustangs and all sorts flying around there. Mick really did do an incredible job in bringing Duxford to life, and it's free. I'll put a link to it down below. Absolutely stunning. Right, Rob, don't get carried away. You're meant to be flying a new aircraft. Okay, let's get gear down. Remember, I'm not flying a Spit, so I'm not going to do a fancy show-off curved approach. Let's be sensible, shall we? Let's get a little bit of flappage. Let's turn base. Oh, actually, do you know what I'm going to do before that? Because I really find this with this aircraft. The landing lights switch is a absolute pain to operate using track IR and with this setup that I've got, so I'm going to do that now. Now we'll turn base. I found before that I end up fiddling with that just at the wrong moment. Touch of flappage. Actually, that's it's full flap on this. Should have waited till I was on finals for that, but it won't hurt anyone. extended a little bit too far on base there. Very steady boy. Now this is one of my favourite parts of the whole flying thing, when you are just dangling on approach like this. It's something I loved when I did my real world flying training, and it's something that I love in this. It's the hardest part, but there's just something so satisfying about it, especially in a new aircraft when you're getting bobbed around a little bit. We are getting bobbed around. Interesting. That wasn't exactly floating it on. It could have been worse. So there you go. Hello, Duxford. And everything is still working. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the flight. It was just a nice little relaxed flight in a new aircraft, looking at some nice new areas. What might be new to you, I don't know, but I thought it was it's a flight I do in the sim fairly often, usually in Warbirds, I must admit, but it was good fun doing it in this. And let's just keep it rolling, boy. Keep it rolling. Come on. And let's have the strobe off. There we go. Yeah. It's always interesting trying different aircraft. And I do love this Milviz C310R. It really is great fun. Crowd there thinking, what on earth is he doing here, and when did he ever get given a pilot's license? Oh, they've got the fire engine ready for us. Oh, maybe it's for that barrier there. Good luck, chat. Say hello to the tower. Look at the detail in this. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Every time, I mean, I've flown out of here so many times. Concentrate on where you're going. Flown out of here so many times, but still it absolutely stuns me how beautiful it is. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, let's park up. I'm getting carried away. Hello everybody. Don't worry. You don't have to come flying with me. Right. Okay, let's have the brake on. Fuel pumps off now. Got the mixtures, got the props, throttle. Everything's fine there. Avionics, should have done that before really. Go away, I hate it when that pops up. And let's have mags off. Just realised I think the fan is still blowing. There we go. So all the lights off and the pitot heat. And we will turn the fuel off. while I'm doing that, I will say thank you again for coming along. I hope you enjoyed the flight. This channel, if you're new to it, tends to be a mixture of warbirds and GA with some helicopter thrown in. If you like what you see, please do subscribe. And I hope to see you again on the channel soon. Oh, and one more thing. We have a Discord. If you fancy the idea of sharing screenshots, talking planes, joining in some group flights, have a look below. There's a link to the Discord as well. And perhaps we'll see you there. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.